Hey guys, this is John. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. It is Monday and it's a chess rivals. That's right, Danny and I have not played for a while, but we're starting up the chess rivals again. And I'm opening with the Sicilian against Danny's e4. This is a blitz match in a race to 4 points at a time control of 3 plus 0. No increment means no mercy. Remember that. Okay, so he's playing bishop d3. I'm just going to play knight f6. I'm playing a Sicilian Khan. This is the opening that I used against Niklas Huschenbett. And that match went well, so let's try to ride this train until we get bucked off, huh? So queen c7, just staying flexible. The key test of this line, I think, is if white goes for f4 and then e5, trying to attack at the center. So I'm kind of hoping Danny doesn't do that. Plays h3, that's rather restrained. I'm going to play d6. I might go for a fianchetto, g6, bishop g7. Not sure why h3 was necessary there. He's going for a bind, he says. Okay, well, let's fianchetto the bishop anyways. Put that baby on g7. I was just talking to Danny right before this match because he has his usual Call of the Wild show, and he was lamenting the fact that he got crushed by Hikaru recently. Yeah, apparently Hikaru just completely destroyed him earlier today, and his confidence was kind of low. And I said, cheer up, Danny, you're going to get destroyed again, but maybe not quite as bad. So, all right, I'm playing bishop b7. I'll probably put the knight on c6 and then maybe move it to e5. If he puts a rook on c1, he has knight d5 ideas, although with the knight on c2, I think that's a little bit less likely. Let's just play this rook over. That seems good. I kind of want to play... Let's go knight e5. I wonder if he'll take and try to double my pawns and play against the structure. Here I can think about playing b5, can't I? This looks like a really good time to do this break and attack c4. I wonder what he has in mind against that, because if knight e3, I can play b4 and then probably just go after the e4 pawn. Or maybe take e4 directly, I don't know. Yeah, he is going to play knight e3. Okay, this is an interesting decision. What to do. So I've got a couple ideas in mind. Take, he's going to take with the knight. And that's okay, but I feel like it could be better. Knight takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, take here. Not sure what's happening in that position. I think I'm just going to go for b4 and lock it up. This is a move you could spend some time on and maybe not even come up with the best approach. So we got to be practical here. Yeah, let's just play a5, defend this. I'm not going after that pawn. I don't want to lose b4. It does give him time to do that move now, though, is the only thing. Okay, let's go here. I'll see if I can play on the dark squares. Like, now I'm thinking this move. Pinning his knight. Let's see what he has to say about that. Bishop c6, maybe. Looks all right. Attack the knight. He's kind of got to maneuver. Knight back to b2, probably. Now, do we go ahead and play this? Queen h4 could be a good answer. Let's go bishop here. Mindful of that time, John. Be mindful of that time. Anything on f3? Nah, we're going back. I was hoping to induce some sort of weakening move like g3. So maybe now I can play queen b7, get my queen and my bishop pointed at e4. He's going to do further weakening moves for me, though. Maybe I can put the knight on c5 and attack this guy. Seems like a good plan. Wow, full speed ahead for him. Immediately played, too. Knight e5 or something else. Knight e5 looks good. Also taking on b2 or taking on f5 a couple times looks good, too, doesn't it? Let's go knight e5. Play this real simple. Okay, we're going to take and then pull this back and attack these two pawns. Look at his bishop on h2. It seems way out of the game right now. Okay, e5 seems good. Try to win that guy. Let's block it up now. Just keep this completely out of the game, right? Let's go a4. It's a bullet game now, though, folks. Let's take that. Let's give it a check. I'm going to play this back. Let's go here. I want to win this pawn. Not playing this so well, though. You can check here. Miss that. Okay, g4 is hanging. e4 is loose. Let's make something happen with those. So let's do this next. And really tie him down. Okay, that's a good move by him. That was a very good move. Not sure what I can do against that. Yeah, okay. I resign that one. Ooh, hate to lose that one because I had a great position. Roundabout move 30-something. I think right here, perhaps I missed something. I played e5 attacking his queen, and then he went back to f3. He is defending both g4 and e4, but I feel like there should be some better way to play it. I played g5, and granted, his structure's terrible, and the bishop on h2 is even worse, but didn't convert from here. The queen side opening did not go the way I would like. I underestimated rook takes b3. I kind of assumed he would take with the pawn. So, not a great start for me in this race to 4 points. I will repeat this variation, though, if given the chance, because his treatment of it with h3 did not leave a very big impression. Then the bishop coming back to e2 seemed like a very, very slow Maroczy. Okay, game 2. Let's open with d4 this time. You know what? I'm going to play a London system. Unless he's going to do that. He plays b5 a lot here. I forgot. Okay, well, let's do this anyways. Can't quite recall what the main ideas are here. So knight bd2. I think I should take first. Actually, let's do this. Let's play e4 and go after that pawn on b5. This seems like a challenging way of proceeding. Yeah, because he didn't even bother trying to take. Okay, so now I'm going to play a4 and try to gouge out the c4 square for my use later on in this game. Let's castle. Let's play h3, just stop a piece from coming to g4. And I want to use this c4 square for my knight later on. Yeah, like now I think would be a good time to do this. So I'd like to score immediately after that loss. I have the white pieces. These matches are pretty short. They don't last a long time. So taking the early initiative, especially on the scoreboard, is just crucial. Okay, let's go here. I'm still keeping g4 in my back pocket if I want it, kicking out this knight, but it seems extreme at the moment. Maybe now I'll do it. Yeah, let's play it. And then I'm going to reposition the bishop here. Probably he should play bishop b7 and attack the pawn on d5. Create a little counterweight to what I'm doing. Then I'll probably play queen d2 and just strengthen my setup. d6 is vulnerable for him, so he can't really think about pushing his e-pawn anytime soon. Maybe I'll go c3 and start playing down the file. I could see that being possible. g5 is worth considering again. Let's just pull this back for one move. I have a hard time seeing what black is up to here. I think this c3 plan could be handy. Take, take, and then put a rook on b1 and play from there. Maybe eventually knight to b6. He's going to go for it. Danny is not messing around today. Yeah, I can see why he would do that. Well, okay, let's continue with c3. I'm not going to take en passant. Originally, I was thinking take en passant, but maybe this plan of switching the direction of the attack is good. So trying to initiate one trade and then get on the b file. Love that knight on c4, attacking that pawn on d6 that is eternally weak. Make the other guy think. If I can keep a 30-second time advantage like he did last game, that would be fantastic. What is that move about? I don't get it, so I'm just going to play rook b1. I mean, maybe he's trying to go knight g8 and f5, but or knight h7, something along those lines. Okay, knight b6 is possible here. What else? g5, maybe. Let's go knight b6 first. That seems more challenging. Maybe force him to put his queen on a7 to defend this pawn. I don't think I should play g5 quite yet. I might want to hold off on that one. Wow. Okay, so if rook takes c4 is his idea, so let's take with a pawn. I see you, Danny. I see you. Okay, let's do this. He's going to put the bishop on b7 now and kind of maneuver around. But still, this pawn is nice. Okay, let's play this. Not too worried about this pawn. You might try bishop f6 to d8. That's an idea he could use. Let's go here now. Attack this guy. Abruptly switch the direction of this attack. He might want to sacrifice an exchange, like, but how does he do that? He can't really move the knight anywhere good. Yeah, he's going to go for something like f4 now, maybe. Okay, we'll just play bishop f5. So we're making some inroads and pressuring him on the clock pretty significantly. Let's take that guy, hit the rook here, attack this guy. I think we can just take here. It's probably easiest now. Let's go here, offer a trade. We're still on the rook too. Yeah, that should be over. No tricks. Okay, so he played a slightly risky line. I see this is called the pseudo Benko. You guys can't see that on the notation, but I never can remember the name of this variation. d5 and then b5. It's kind of like a Benko gambit, except there's no white pawn on c4. And I think the key in playing against this line is to try to carve out the use of the c4 square for your knight. And you do that by means of this a4 pawn break. And when you make a pawn break, you're initiating a clash with the opposing structure and forcing them to make a decision, either take you or move past. And since taking is not very good, gives him an isolated pawn, he ended up moving past, and then I have the c4 square available for a minor piece, probably a knight. So 1-1. I love it. It's been a while since a good old-fashioned chess rivals. We started this back in the fall, and we're on number 13. Lucky number 13 right now. It's been a fun rivalry. All right, game 3. Switching it up, going with d4. I think he's going to play his little Verisov that he likes to play. Yeah, he loves this line. And now bishop f4. I can never really remember what to do, so I'm just going to play bishop f5. And then we're going to go e6. Yeah, we're going to do this song and dance. I think h6 is usually the way I react. And he gets all this space on the king side, but with great space comes great responsibility, as I'm fond of saying. So he can't completely switch off his brain and just enjoy his space advantage. Okay, in the past I played c5 here. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to deviate from this. Because taking with the c-pawn is a little weird. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. This is fine for both sides, really. Okay, b5 or knight a5. Hate to be thinking here. Let's go to knight a5. Just see what that queen's up to. I do not think you can take on b5, Danny. I would doubt if that's a good idea. Go back to c2 or d1, where you belong. Back in your cave, c2 or d1. Or if you want to, be my guest, take on b5 and make this unsound sacrifice. Yes, he does retreat. Okay, so knight here, he's going to play b3. Well, let's just do this. This looks like a free tempo move. Did I hurt myself there? Take, knight takes b5. He might have had that tactic. I'm glad he didn't see that. Okay, so knight c4, he's still going to play b3. Knight into b2, too extreme, I think. Taking is a possibility. Let's take and then play the queen to b4. I think I like this. Or, sorry, queen to d6. Kind of eyeing the b4 square, but also eyeing the knight. I think he's going to play king f2. That's usually how he reacts in these scenarios. So maybe I can castle and then play like queen b4. Wow, he's going to open it up like that. So encourage me to push here. Also, knight b3 is possible. I'd like to take it to him in the center. or on the queen side, but don't know that I can, really. Knight b3, rook a3, probably. Not sure what's going on there. And if here, b3, knight b2, it's also very messy. But you know what? I think I'm going to go for that. Let's see what happens. I just spent a lot of time thinking there, so I need to make him think to try to get some of this back. Not exceptional time management by me so far this game. So b3, knight b2, queen d2, queen b4. That's what I'm thinking. And hoping for the best. Maybe he can play knight takes b5 there? I don't know. There's also b4. Okay, he's going to take there. Okay, well, let's do this. Where are you going with the queen now? Okay, queen b4, perhaps? Let's pull this back. Something seems very suspicious about how he's handling this. Allowing me to take and then come back and attack the queen. If rook takes a6, I can play queen takes a6. And that's good. So let's take this now. If knight takes, queen check is strong, I believe. Okay, so let's push that. See where he goes with the knight. Yeah, he's just gonna run away. Let's push in the center now. Now we're on f3. This is nice. Queen f5, knight takes f3 check. He's got to stay off g2. So let's go here. Attacking g4. Take that. If he takes knight e4 check, is killing. So this got good in a hurry, didn't it? I think we can take that safely. I think we can take this too. You can give a check here, but what's that really amounting to? Okay, let's check. I think we can do that. Knight h5. Knight h5 we just take. We just take like so. And then we go here, probably. Okay, let's just trade the queens. We're going to push this pawn. Push that guy. Now he's got to come over and stop us. Oh boy. Don't get mated, John. He's going to check us around here. Oh, I won on time. Did he have a draw at the end? He actually had a perpetual at the end. Rook e7 check, and my king can't escape anywhere. My own rook is blocking my king from going this way. All right, if I would have played any other move here, king g6 or king e6, it's game over. But nail biter. I thought I had less time than I actually did. So I got nervous there. So what happened in that one? I think the key position was when he decided to play a4. It's a challenging move. It gives me lots of options, and I spent a ton of time here, didn't I? I spent 42 seconds, almost 43 seconds on this move, and eventually decided on knight c4. I was debating knight b3 and b4. So if he caused me to spend that amount of time, it almost doesn't matter if the move is good or not. As long as it's not losing for white, the game is going to be interesting. So, yeah, that made the game sharp, and fortunately I came out on top. Okay, I'm sticking with d4. I'm not going to deviate. Let's play knight f3 again. He wants to repeat this line. Guess we'll do it. So I played e4 last time, didn't I? Let's see if he takes here on e4. No, he's content to do that still. Okay, I'm going to go a4 again. I'm not going to take on f6. I think we had one game previously where I did take on f6. He's going for the recycling variation this time. He's going to take on f3 and get the other knight out. Okay, so if bishop f4, knight h5 is going to be the answer. So probably I should employ some subtlety here. Let's go bishop e3. I'd still like to play knight d2 to c4. That would be, I think, the best setup I could achieve right now. If knight e5, bishop f1 looks correct, going for f4, knight c4, etc. It is nice that when he doesn't have a light square bishop, he has a hard time defending a6. His rook may be inclined to stay on a8 to defend it. Yeah, so he's taking radical measures to ensure his knight's security on e5. I could still play f4 even here, but maybe g3 is better. Let's do that. Okay, let's do this. I wonder if he's going to put the knight back. No. Okay, well, let's go ahead and play f4 and open this baby up. I'm exposing my king, but he's not in a great position to attack me right now. Is he going to do something crazy like f5? He is. Wow. Okay, so if takes knight h4, I suppose, is the idea. Not sure I completely believe this, but I respect his right to play it. Okay, let's go queen g4. Knight takes f5, bishop f2 is what I'm thinking. Retain the dark square bishop, try to get this bishop on d3. Now I'm thinking attack, because in playing f5, he weakens even more light squares. And previously, my bishop was kind of just chilling on f1, looking at the a6 square, but if I can send it to d3, line up my bishop and queen and go after his king, then I might be in for a quick checkmate. This knight needs to stay guarding e7 too. That's going to slow him down. He can't play knight f6. He just loses the knight on d5, or on f5 rather. So what does he play here? He's thinking hard about it. I mean, maybe king h8, try for rook g8. Seems slow though. King h8, bishop d3, rook g8. I could even take and then put my bishop on g6, I think. Maybe he has rook takes g6 there, but again, I'm forcing him to a decision in the middle game. In 3-0, I don't think that can be underestimated. If you can make your opponent think for more than 30 seconds on a move, they've already burned up a significant portion of their time. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do here. Maybe rook f6 followed by rook f8. Trying to reinforce f5, but I have easy play after that. I hope his connection didn't go. Nope, his connection's good. Maybe something came up. Maybe not. Okay, he's going to play this plan. So if rook f8, I could actually take f5 and then play rook takes here. But honestly, I think just doing this is even easier. And then trying for rook h1. I don't think I need to cash in yet by taking on f5. Yeah, let's just pound the bishop on g7. Go rook here, try to get the rook into e6. He's just hanging on for dear life. Let's do this, try knight e4. He has rook g6, so let's go here. I'm going to take that and then play f5. We're going to go for this. I mean, I'm not sure if these moves are best, but again, he has almost no time, like literally no time. So let's go here. I dropped that, of course. Let's do this. Take there, hit his rook. Yeah. So I'm sure Sloppy play by me down the stretch. I bet in the position after he brought the other rook over to f8, there's just big issues for him. Maybe I could play bishop takes f5, rook takes f5, rook takes e7, as I was saying. But the time situation, man, he spent a minute 30 on this one move, so spent half his time on rook f6. I kind of wonder if something happened there. But he didn't say anything in the chat, so he hasn't said anything now. Okay, well, let's go back to the Sicilian. So if I win this game, it's over, but let's not count anything yet. Con once again. Put the queen on c7. And he goes for that h3 variation once more. Okay, I'm going for the fianchetto. It's castle, staying flexible. Don't know if it's correct to put... I'm going to put this knight here. And then put the rook on d8 to guard this pawn. So now rook c1, there is this idea of knight to d5 I have to be aware of. So maybe knight here. Or knight d7, perhaps. Well, maybe knight d7. Let's do knight d7. Because if knight d5, I can just ignore it and play queen back to b8. Just kind of nifty. So I know my position looks cramped right now, but this is standard fare for bind positions out of the Sicilian Khan. So he's going to try to annoy me. Let's play rook e8. Again, knight d5. I think I just dropped the queen back. Let's do that. Knight b5. Knight b5 is good here. Glad he didn't play that, unless I'm missing something when he does it this way. But yeah, I think if he would have played knight b5, a takes b5, c takes b5, he would have been on that knight twice. Could have been strong. So no knight e7. I've got that covered. Let's just proceed with development. Knight over to g4. You are always a creative attacker, Danny. Are you going to give a check on h6? Just dive right in? He is. I remember a Chess Rivals game we had like this. He did something similar, and I was saying how the knight is poor there, but he kind of proved me wrong as the game went along. Okay, so what to do now? He's going to try to get on this. I mean, I would like to trap that, but how am I going to carry that out? Let's do this. Queen f4 might be an option for him too, so I'd like to... Okay, he's going to do that. So if I take... Or play f6 maybe? Maybe f6, but f6 looks cramped. I think I'm going to take check. Let's see where that goes. Maybe f6, I don't know. He's debating which way to recapture. This looks really weird, but I'm going to do it. As opposed to putting the knight on e5, which is the obvious thing. Because now, if I can play king e7, then I'll be threatening to take his bishop soon. I still have to watch out for queen f7. My knight can come to e5 in good time. I'm also threatening pawn e5. Pawn e5 is the big threat here, isn't it? Yeah. Let's do that. Attack the queen so I can go win this bishop. Okay, let's get this up. Now I want to get my knight to e6 if I can. So I can go into f4. If the knight lands here, this looks really bad for him. So this knight is kind of stuck. He has to watch out for knight e2 stuff later. It's a funny looking move. I do not believe it, but let's find out if it's any good. You can take with the knight or the pawn. Takes with the knight. Okay, I'm going to give him this pawn. I don't mind losing that one if necessary. Let's bring this over. So now if he moves this rook, I've got an idea. He just blundered that. Go win the queen. And then we'll just trade some stuff off. Will be really boring. Just trade various things off. Let's give a check. Go here. Pin that knight. Yeah, and he resigned. Okay, so he went for it. He wasn't letting anything hold him back in that game with knight h6 check. That's the move that when you play it, there's going to be a decisive result, most likely. You're agreeing to entomb your own knight in order to inconvenience the opponent's king. And if he can organize an attack on f7 or otherwise open the position to his benefit, I could see how the knight would be good on h6. But as the game turned out, the attack was artificial. The queen on f4. And I think I came up with a good continuation here. Trading on f3. Maybe he should take with the queen, but if he takes with the queen, I have knight e5 with tempo. So he took with the pawn and then f6, and it looks really ugly. And a quick glance at the position might give you the impression that white's attack is succeeding and black is desperate, but his coordination is so poor here, I don't see how he continues the attack. e5 is threatened, whereupon the queen will have to move and I can scoop up the bishop. And this knight's not helping. The bishop can't do much. Sack here doesn't really work. I just take with the knight. So I think the attack is backfiring. All right, so we recovered from that first round loss. Time management could have been better. I got to work on my 3-0 time management. After that first game where I had that one really long think, I don't believe there was a single move where I thought for an exorbitant amount of time. Let's say 30 seconds plus. So if you want to get better at this time control, I really believe that's key. Just cutting down the long thinks. And early on in the match, Danny put me to some decisions where maybe I negotiated them well, but I was so far behind on the clock, it just got messy. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Chess Rivals. Let me know what you think about Danny and I playing these matches. And also if you have any formats. I know some people have suggested standard games. I think a standard Rivals, if we could set aside an hour or two to play a couple games with like a 15+0 time control or 15+10 maybe, that would be interesting. And I know we also want to do some variants again soon. King of the Hill, 3 checks, Crazy House, that sort of thing. So, hope you guys have a good night or day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.